Chicken Road opposite the NatWest Bank. Accident specialists. Start your successful claim today.
Do you own a restaurant or takeaway? Cater Fair is an expert supplier of new and used commercial catering equipment. Visit caterfair.co.uk for quality equipment on sale at the lowest prices. Or call us on 01733 310 115 or visit us at 11 Royce Road, Fengate, Peterborough.
जब बात हो हलाल मीट की तो कैसे मुमकिन जिक्र न हो हाजी बाबा का। हाजी बाबा अज़दा में आपके लिए। हम अज़दा में अरसा 10 साल से जायद मुल्क भर में 45 से जायद काउंटर्स के साथ बेहतरीन पैकेजेस, हर वैरायटी का मीट और आला मायार के लिए आइए हमारे पास। चिकन ब्रेस्ट, चिकन क्यूब या कीमा सिर्फ 3.99 पाउंड पर केजी। लैम या शीप लेग, लैम शोल्डर और मिक्स सिर्फ 6.99 पाउंड पर केजी। बेबी चिकन सिर्फ 1.99 पाउंड पर केजी। आपकी सहूलत के लिए वक्त की बचत और मायार की जमानत, तमाम हलाल गोश्त और अशिया जरूरत एक ही छत के नीचे। हाजी बाबा हलाल मीट, फाइंड अस इन अज़दा।
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Shabina here. Has your child had their flu vaccination this year? All primary school-aged children are entitled to the flu vaccine in their schools, helping to protect you and all the family against flu, which can make vulnerable people very ill. Call the school immunisations team on 0300 555 5055 if you'd like your child to get protected.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبسم الله. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الحياء شعبة من الإيمان. The modesty is a branch of faith.
طلع البدر علينا من
And here we are on Salaam Radio at 5 p.m. on Thursday the 30th of January. Welcome to Community Matters, the radio show for all communities across Peterborough and beyond with me, Adrian Holdstock. Community Matters asks questions that matter to our community life. Coming up on the show, we're going to hear about an event tomorrow evening all about the views of young British Muslims on the topic of mental health. That's in the second half of our show. But my first guests are with me here in the studio from Peterborough City College. They are Vanessa Cave. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Wallace Weldon. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So what are your roles at City College?
Well, my role, Adrian, is Engagement Manager within the Health and Care Sector Work Academy, and I support the recruitment team.
And Wallace?
I'm the Relationship Coordinator for the Health and Care Sector Work Academy, and it's my role to build relationships with the local employers and see how we can help support them with the Academy project.
Okay, that sounds quite important. I mean, my experience of education is you're there to be taught, you're there to get a qualification, and then you've got to go and find where to go. But what you're suggesting is that there's a link that you make.
There is a link, and that's what we're trying to promote to local providers within the health and care sector. The project that we're working on, the Academy, is aiming to address skill shortages within the health and care sector across Peterborough and Cambridgeshire. And we're trying to provide a qualification, but also maybe an ease into work within the sector. So by creating links with local employers that maybe need staff, have high turnover, and providing them with qualified, committed learners of ours, we're hoping to address that skill shortage and make it smaller.
Well, that's wonderful, because I think if people are a bit nervous about engaging in education and going to colleges or universities, to think that those places of education are not there just there to give them a qualification, but to help connect them and link them through with the employment and the career that they're looking to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's wonderful.
But the difference about what we do deliver is that it's delivered out in the community. So taking on your point there, it is actually quite nerve-wracking to think you're actually going back into the educational setting. So with the project, our aim is to overcome any challenges and barriers that individuals may face. And one of those may be actually walking into a college and sitting in a classroom with maybe 30 students. So the unique thing about what we deliver is that it's delivered out in the community, and our class sizes are a maximum of 12. So that enables individuals to actually build up their confidence, interaction skills, and have more sort of one-on-one support with a tutor. So we're quite unique in the offer.
Right. Is that unique? Because I was going to ask you to contrast City College with Regional College, and I think it's called University Centre Peterborough. So many different organisations offering further education.
No, absolutely.
City College, what stands out for City College?
So City College is actually Peterborough's adults and community college. There's a really wide range of courses on offer. So we teach a lot of English as a second or other language classes. There's lots of pleasure and leisure classes that we do. And they're accessible. It's all about making it accessible to people of all backgrounds, people of all ages. Very inclusive in that way. And us working for the project of the Health and Care Sector Work Academy, we work within City College, but deliver something a little bit different in that we're out in the communities, and we're solely based on health and social care.
Let's come to this health and social care area, because it's a problem for our nation at the moment, is how do we pay for our care? And where do the people come from who are going to work in looking after us? What's the current situation?
So the Health and Care Sector Work Academy, we were actually set up with a view to addressing the skills shortage within the sector. I think it was 2016 to 2017. There were just shy of 14,000 vacancies in health and social care across Peterborough and Cambridgeshire alone.
Just in Peterborough?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say in England.
Around Peterborough and Cambridgeshire, so it's the whole county.
Gosh,
but obviously
14,000.
That's quite a deficit,
Yes.
and I think the averages for the sector are lower than they are sort of anywhere else in the country. So the project was granted 5.2 million from the Department of Work and Pensions to roll out for 3 years, offering a free qualification to get people into the health and care sector, as well as I say, build links with local employers, see how we can support them, and really aiming to change perceptions of the sector, which isn't always shown in a positive light, change those perceptions for the better.
Now, the sector is quite broad, I think, because are there public providers and private providers?
There are. So there are a range of providers that we work with, and a range of, a multitude of different roles that our learners could go into within that sector.
Okay.
So from the people who've completed the qualification so far, we've had people go into administration roles within care settings, all the way to sort of assistant occupational therapists. So part of what we're doing is really trying to shine a light on the places that you can go within the sector. I think a lot of people's perception of a role within health and social care is perhaps personal care, and it's not. Obviously, that is a large part of a lot of roles, and it needs to be, but it's not the be all and end all. So we're really trying to help people explore where their careers could take them within the sector.
So you don't have to do the training and decide, I'm going to be a personal carer before you discover what the options are.
Absolutely not. And because we take a very person-centred approach, it's a 15-week course. We actually deliver 2 weeks in the middle. I think week 7 and week 8 we focus on employability. So that's really time spent with the mentor, lots of one-on-one time, really exploring what our individual learners want to do within the sector, and how it is that we can support them to get there. So support with job searches, job applications, getting CVs up to date, and then in the second week of our employability sessions, this is where I come in. We invite local employers in to talk about the different roles that are maybe available in their companies, shine a light on the different types of organisations who support a multitude of different people, and really shine a light on the variety that's out there.
Yeah. So supposing somebody had an ambition to work, say, in the NHS, would they come through your course?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have one lady who I think completed one of our earlier courses, and she'd always, I think her dream was to be a nurse. So she completed our course. She found a role in a care home straight after the course, or not long after completing the qualification, with her mentoring support. But we actually caught up with her about 6 months ago, and she is working at Peterborough District Hospital. City Hospital now, I think it is, isn't it?
It is.
She's actually got a role as a healthcare assistant within the hospital, so she's
wonderful.
one step closer to fulfilling that and exploring her learning opportunities there.
So she's got into the environment that she always wanted to be in.
Yeah.
And she...
I think it's about creating stepping stones for people, actually. So the course would have been the first stepping stone. The mentoring support she received following the course would have been another one. The role that she landed following the course would have been another one. And then she's on sort of her fourth step, getting to where she really wants to be.
Okay. So that's the NHS. Then you've got care homes that people work within.
Yep.
Private sector and public sector?
Yeah. So we do work with a range of different employers currently, within residential care homes, within domiciliary care agencies. We've worked with charities, and all of these employers have been very, very kind in sparing their time to come in and speak to our learners about the different roles there are available. And it's working because they're directly recruiting from us.
Yes. When you mention charities, I'm thinking particularly of people with disabilities that a care assistant in some way can support them with.
Yeah, absolutely. A really wide range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, the admin side of it, it's never struck me before. That you obviously need people in the front line dealing with bodily needs and caring needs.
Yeah.
But in the background?
So the course is designed, so the qualification that we offer is called the Level 1 Award in Preparing to Work in Adult Social Care. So that's 5 mandatory units, but we also teach the theory behind the 15 standards of the care certificate alongside throughout the course. So what our course is designed to do is to give you a really good overview to use as a stepping stone to go wherever you want to within the sector. So obviously for the more background roles, not the frontline roles like administration, maybe housekeepers, catering staff, what we think is really valuable, what we're delivering is a really good overview. So catering staff in a care home will come into contact with caregiving situations every day. So we think it's really important for them to have a really good understanding of the care that they're seeing day in, day out, and then use that to then maybe progress into that side or however they want to, really.
It never occurred to me, somebody who's got catering skills, but to be able to adapt those and make them work well within a care setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, gosh. Let's come back to this idea of getting out into the community and delivering the courses in venues around the community. How do you find your locations to do the courses?
Okay, so what we actually do is each month we know which areas we're going to sort of specifically target, and we will contact the local community centres, churches, and actually try and see whether we can deliver the course there. So say, for example, this month we've got courses that are currently going to be running in Bretton, Peterborough Central, St Neots. So for Bretton, for example, we're going to be delivering in the Bretton South Community Centre.
Yep, so that's run by Crosskeys Homes, who we work in partnership with.
Yes, so what we do is we'll go out, we'll have a meeting, we'll see what we can do. We can, we introduce ourselves to the people in the community. So potentially it may be that we'll have a stand in the community centre, make sure that people are fully aware of what our offer is. And then what we try to do is, because for some individuals, the thought of, I live in Bretton, but actually I've got to travel into Peterborough, that could be quite daunting. So what we try to do is deliver it, as we say, in the community. But the other good thing about the courses that we deliver is that we do support with travel. We do support with child and adult care, and that individuals will get mentoring support. So they'll get that from the start of the course all the way through.
And up to 4 months after.
And up to 4 months after. Yeah.
Right. Is it the same tutor throughout? Do they build up a rapport and a relationship with the...
They do. So with the tutor, obviously the courses themselves, they're over 15 weeks, but it's 1 day a week. The majority of our courses are between 10 and 2. So again, it may fit in with individual needs. It allows you the opportunity to get your children to school, complete the course, and then gives you the opportunity to pick them up. But you will have the same tutor each week. So quite rightly, yes, it does give you the opportunity to get to know your tutor. But again, because the class sizes are so small, you get to know the other people that are on the course. And for a lot of our groups that have finished, the learners still keep in touch with each other. So actually, some of it has supported individuals to get out of isolation. Which is really, really important, and then have gone on to either further education, because we focus very much on employment, but actually that might not be right. And it may be that actually we've given someone the skills and the confidence to go into the volunteer sector. Or it may mean that actually they're not quite ready at that stage, but they might want to go on to further education. So it could be that they've completed the level 1, they progress and do the level 2, and then it may be that their next step is an apprenticeship. So obviously City College, that's another offer that is out there, that people can go into an apprenticeship, which is sort of hands-on, earn while you learn.
Sure.
So,
just unpacking the course a little bit more. So you've talked about 15 weeks, and you've talked about 1 day a week, and the inside of that day. So it doesn't get in the way of children going to and from school.
Yeah.
But is that the only time that people are studying, or have they got homework to do?
There will be some homework, because obviously they are working towards a recognised qualification. So there's a total of 60 hours learning. But to be honest, actually, again, we're quite bespoke in what we deliver. So, for some, it may be that they can't actually do it at home. So what they do is they come in earlier. And they'll actually work with the tutor then, or they'll stay a little bit later, because actually our main aim is not to set people up to fail. So, it is very supported, it's a very safe environment, and obviously we try and work with what suits individuals. Yeah, but there is homework.
Sure.
Yeah. We don't want to lie to anyone.
Do they need to have a computer and access to internet and so on?
Not necessarily. So the work itself, delivered over the 15 weeks, is all done sort of portfolio based, which is really good.
How do you mean?
So when I say portfolio based, it's all in a book. Really.
Okay.
So the course itself will have a scheme of works. So the tutor will know each week exactly what they're delivering, and the learners will know each week what it is they're going to be learning. So they work together. So it is about the tutor and the learners working together, and they will work through the book. The reason for computers, mainly, some of our guys actually want to do some more research off their own back, which is absolutely fine. But that's not a barrier. If they don't have a computer, that's not a problem. Wallace did touch on a couple of the weeks that we call Making It Real, which is where we have employers coming in. But also that's during that couple of weeks is when we support the learners to get their CVs put things on their CVs, apply for jobs, etc. But even for that, we actually bring the laptops in. Oh, okay. So again, it's not to make anybody feel uncomfortable. It is to support them with any challenges and barriers that may face. So we'll bring the laptops in. We'll set up the email addresses if that's what we needed to do, or we'll show someone how to set up their email address. So, yeah, fantastic opportunity.
So the portfolio that you describe is week after week, extra pieces of paper in the workbooks. They're learning and they're demonstrating to the tutor that they are learning, and they're getting the answers and they're getting the understanding.
Yes.
Are there exams?
No.
Ah.
No, there's no exam at the end of it, which is fantastic.
Okay.
So no, they literally will just work through. Obviously the coursework will be marked, etc., and it will go from there. But yeah, the good thing is no exam at the end of it. But obviously if it is identified that someone is struggling, what we want to do is sort of convince people that actually that support is there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The tutor is there. We've currently got sessions running through at City College, sort of catch-up sessions, because like we say, it's not about setting anybody up to fail. We do want everybody to achieve.
Yeah. Now, my other question is, we're a very multicultural and multinational city here in Peterborough, many languages, and City College teach English as second language.
Indeed.
Students who don't have a good grasp of English, would they be able to access this course?
Certainly. So we have 2 or 3 ESOL classes running, but again, for any student, we do have to go through a process, of course. So we do an assessment, but again, that isn't about setting people up to fail. That's just helping us identify if there's any extra support needed. So once the assessment is done, then obviously if we feel that they will benefit from the course, they would then go on to do the course after the value-based recruitment. But if not, then the next process would be that they would be signposted to City College to get the support that they need, whether that is upskilling in their English and maths. And then hopefully, once they've achieved that, they'd then be re-referred back. Okay. So that support, again, is still there. And we've, funny enough, just started an ESOL course this week.
Yeah.
So the course content is identical to our other courses, but we just, whereas the courses for native English speakers are 15 weeks, we teach our ESOL learners the same course content, but over 20 weeks to make allowances for.
So they're given enough time to really take things on board.
Absolutely.
And don't feel disadvantaged at all.
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Let's start the journey then with somebody who's perhaps heard this broadcast and thinks, I wonder if that's for me. How could they find out more?
So they could visit our website, which is www.healthandcareacademy.co.uk. So they would have a referral route there. There's an inquiry form, an online inquiry form that they could fill out, which comes directly to us. Or they could give us a call on our free phone telephone number, which is 0800 310 1160, and refer themselves to us over the phone. So what we would do in that instance is have a good chat with them, make sure they've got all of the information they need about the course, what they'll be undertaking, and then we'll take their details to create a learner file for them on our system. And then stage 2 would be to book them in for an enrolment session. So that's when, as Vanessa said, we complete a short English skills assessment. We get all of the boring paperwork done, and we have a really nice get to know you chat. So that'll be the learners' opportunity to talk about any previous experience of care, really get to the bottom of why they want to undertake the course, and we get to know the learner prior to them starting a little bit better. And then it would be to start the course. So quite a simple process.
And if there isn't a course running in their part of the city, but there might be one coming up soon,
yes,
they could still enrol
Absolutely.
and just stay on the waiting list until the course comes to Fletton or
yes,
Bletton. Or,
very much
and
so.
we would keep in touch with them as well to make sure. So, if they do have to wait for a little while, we like to keep in touch. But obviously it may mean that in that interim time, we can ensure that they've got the childcare that they need. So we've sorted that out. We go through, if the individual, say, is travelling by bus, that we've identified the bus that they'll need to take, the routes they need to take. So actually, when they actually start the course, they feel really confident and have sorted out everything they need to sort out prior to.
Now, when we've met before, Vanessa, you and I have chatted about this.
We certainly have.
You were talking about benefits. Is this only for people on benefits?
It is. So currently you need to be over 18 and claiming a benefit or in-work benefit. So potentially for individuals that are in work, this course we are looking to upskill. Okay, so that's where Wallace comes in, is actually working with employers. But yes, you do need to be on a benefit to qualify. So if we get that call, we would normally talk through that process, talk through the benefits that we do accept.
And maybe some people are a little reluctant to apply online or come in to visit. Are you out and about in the community?
We certainly are out and about. So what I would say to people, because I totally understand that picking up that phone sometimes can be quite difficult, and actually, valid point there. If you haven't got a computer, very difficult to email us. But what I would say is we do have regular presence in the job centre. So we are in Peterborough Job Centre every Tuesday morning. But we are also out and about in the community. So we will do pop-up stands. So it's very difficult to say if you don't have access to a computer, but I would just sort of say keep looking around. We do use Facebook, we use various methods of letting the community know that we're out there. So obviously people accessing here, for example, what we try to do within the community centres is have a poster up or have some leaflets out and about. And you can have that poster.
Well, I was just going to show that to the camera. Learn, care, earn. Want to earn a free qualification in the Health and Care Sector Work Academy is here to help. And all the information about booking, we'll put that on our social media as well.
Fantastic.
So
most of the community centres out and about will have posters, will have leaflets. But yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity and the support is there. So I would say to anybody, if it's something you're interested in, if you're not sure, either pick up the phone, drop us an email, pop into City College.
And a final thought, because we're coming to the end of our time, is 14,000 vacancies, and you have managed to achieve quite a number of placements, haven't you?
We have so far. So we did reach a couple of milestones very recently. We were really pleased to announce that our 500th learner had been enrolled onto courses. That happened just prior to Christmas. And we have just had our 100th learner go into paid employment within the sector. So many more have gone into paid employment or volunteering opportunities, but that was our 100th learner into the sector from those who have completed the course so far.
Tremendous, and what a great opportunity that you're offering both those people who are in need of care and people who are looking for work and an opportunity to gain a qualification.
That's what we think.
Vanessa Cave and Wallace Weldon from Peterborough City College, a really big thank you.
Thank you.
And continue with the success and the spreading of the word and the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
So do stay tuned, because after our short break we're going to hear about what young Muslims think about mental health and an event that's coming up in the John Clare Theatre tomorrow. All will be revealed in 4 minutes.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
Where can you get high quality and low prices? Amar Food Store and Halal Meat in Lincoln Road, Triangle is the place to go. Pay us a visit and take advantage of our special offers and great range of products on groceries, vegetables, fruits and halal meat. Also send money to Pakistan absolutely free. We have all top brands at special offers, offer free customer parking and provide a free local delivery service. Amar Food Store and Halal Meat, 613B Lincoln Road, Peterborough. Call us on 01733 687 374. High in quality, low in prices.
Al Murad Tiles. With over 70 stores nationwide, we are now open in Peterborough. Up to 50% discount offers now on. Largest selection of tiles. Full bathroom suites from only £189. Paint, LED lighting, laminate flooring from only £7.99. Over 1,000 designs of wallpaper in stock. We have everything you need. Come and visit us at 193 Fengate, Peterborough, PE1 5BH, or call us on 01733 34 58 47. Al Murad Tiles, now open.
Had a car accident or an accident at work? Accident specialists are experts in no-win, no-fee accident claims. Leave the hassle to us. Our multilingual settlement experts will manage the entire claims process on your behalf, with nothing to pay up front. We provide services such as credit hire, taxi vehicles, recovery, storage and much more. For full details on our range of services and a free consultation, call us on 01733 555 774 or visit our office at 249 Lincoln Road opposite the NatWest Bank. Accident specialists. Start your successful claim today.
There's a million choices available for dining out in Leeds.
But if you want something special, there's only one name to remember.
Mumtaz Leeds.
Relax in our newly refurbished Riverside restaurant.
Enjoy exquisite home cooking from our brand new menu. Upgrade to the Mumtaz Leeds experience.
And the price? Well, we're better value than ever before.
Mumtaz Leeds, Chadwick Street, Leeds, LS10 1PJ. Call 0113 242 4211.
Free car parking available.
अगर मूड हो मुस्तनद और मायारी देसी खाने का तो आजमाएं लिंकन रोड पर देसी रेस्टोरेंट। दिन का आगाज देसी नाश्ते के साथ हलवा पूरी, चने, निहारी, पाए, पराठा और आमलेट। हर रोज सुबह 7 बजे से दिन 1 बजे तक। एक मजेदार और स्वादिष्ट लंच के लिए कबाब, सैंडविच, तंदूरी डिशेस, बल्ती डिशेस, बिरयानी और बहुत कुछ। दिन 1 बजे से शाम 5 बजे तक हमारी खास डिशेस, देसी तवा या हमारी ताज़ा हांडी, 1 kg बेबी चिकन, लैम का गोश्त हड्डी के साथ। ऑर्डर पर तैयार कराएं। ईट इनसाइड, टेक वे के लिए फ्री डिलीवरी। पूरा मेन्यू देखने के लिए और ऑनलाइन ऑर्डर करने के लिए हमारी वेबसाइट पे जाएं desirestaurant.co.uk। 60 नशिस्तों की गुंजाइश के साथ और एक प्राइवेट फंक्शन रूम, कैटरिंग सर्विस भी दस्तयाब। डोंट फॉरगेट देसी रेस्टोरेंट, 298 लिंकन रोड, पीटरबरो, PE1 2ND। कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर 555795।
This is Adrian Holstock presenting Community Matters, the radio show for all communities in Peterborough and beyond, on Salaam Radio on 106.2 FM and online at salamradio.co.uk. We've another guest with me in the studio. It is Malika Speaks, a spoken word artist who was crowned Peterborough's Poet Laureate. Welcome, Malika.
Hello, Adrian. Thank you for having me.
Now, you're here to promote an event tomorrow about the spoken word and young Muslims and mental health, but first can we get to know you a little bit more? I read that you are driven by purpose and justice. Where did that come from?
Do you know, I've always been a questioner and a deep thinker, and I think I tend to challenge everything. And that includes the injustices in this world. And I feel like we all have the power to, and we all should be doing what we can in our strengths and in our passions to make the world a better place.
What sort of injustices were you noticing as you grew up?
It sounds awful because I was about to say, well, which one? But, I think that, I think on a macro level and a micro level, there are a variety of things such as bullying and wars. And I really think that in order to change these things, it starts with everybody. It starts with your friends, it starts with your community. And I'm a big believer in, the domino effect, that if we all took responsibility of those spaces, that it would encourage an improvement in the wider society.
And you've been addressing these issues in poetry.
Yeah, for me, my poetry started off as my outlet. So I would voice a lot of my frustrations in there. And then when I was having mental health problems, it used to be my space to, try and put these into some form of understanding and try and illustrate what it was that I was frustrated with and experiencing. So I used that tool to try and help people understand and think, especially because I feel that poetry is words are such a strong tool to, encourage emotion and insight and perspective. So I think, it's a really good way of helping people see things that they might not usually understand or experience themselves.
How did you start writing poetry? Were you still at school, quite young?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I started writing stories. That's where my love for writing began.
Yes.
I loved reading. And then slowly, probably when I was, a younger teenager, then I started exploring poetry. Obviously exposed more of it at school, and that kind of pushed me into it. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I came across spoken word, which is what I engage with mostly now, which is a more audiologically entertaining form of poetry. So you think very much about performance, about how it will sound, possibly backtracking. I know some people think it's actually quite similar to rap, and sometimes it can be. But I think the great thing about that is that it really engages with young people. So that's why I started, from story writing to poetry to spoken word.
Did the education system at school encourage you in poetry, do you think?
Do you know what I think really got me into writing and literature is probably me being a questioner and me kind of being in... I would say I've probably me being so reflective and in my own kind of bubble made me somebody who kind of sat with words and sat with my pen. I definitely think that being exposed to different forms of writing and obviously having to do it as part of the curriculum definitely, encouraged me and got me going and seeing different forms of writing. Yeah.
How did you discover, or when did you first discover that there's something special about you and your writing?
I think, it was... there was a friend who told me that there was an open mic slot at an event. And I think I've always been somebody who feels like just do it and just go for opportunities that come your way. So I didn't think too much about it. I just kind of was like, I love writing. Let me just go for it. And I think it's because of that I've ended up pushing myself in terms of my poetry. And it's led to other opportunities in terms of performance, and then that's led to networking. So just on a side note, advice is just go for it. If you see an opportunity, just do it.
Yeah. Gosh, wonderful. Yeah. Is there any possibility you've brought something you could share with us?
Definitely. So I'll tell you what, I'll share with you the piece that I wrote and read for the Poet Laureate competition. Just to give you a little bit of context, we were given a theme. We could interpret that theme as we wished. So the theme was dawn. And as I said, me being a deep thinker and all, I decided to write about a spiritual dawn. So I kind of touched on the poem about how we can get absorbed in materialism, and there's a point where we realize that it's not enough because it's not feeding the soul, it's not feeding the heart. And actually, even though at that point things seem like it's going to shatter, like it's the end, that's where we find our spiritual selves. So this poem just describes that journey.
Okay.
So the poem's called Alignment. All I'm seeing is night skies and dark lies and closed eyes, false promises, hidden identities, all things anonymous. The problem is there is no substance. just empty existence, just material abundance. Reach for the stars, they say. Make it up there one day. Climbing stairs of gold bricks, feeling like we're doing it, we're making it, even though we're faking it. And even gold has its melting point. So, under all this heat and pressure, I watch it disappoint all those who thought that they were flying amongst the diamonds, as they melt back down to earth, carried in gold fears, floating in black tears. Inked hearts, yearning for that light and shine, real peace which rests with the divine. A place where the soul aligns to its purpose. A place where the soul aligns, releasing all its burdens. A place where the soul aligns. A place where the soul aligns. A new dawn. Souls lay bare, scared, unaware that life starts there. Seeping tranquility as the hollow night gives way to transcending wisps of heaven. Answers become clearer the more that you question, the more that you resist automation and dependence, so surrender. Feel familiarity through the incandescence. Let your soul be soothed in soft realizations. Let it be renewed through revelation. And that's alignment.
Wow. I just want to breathe that in. You've brought a tear to my eye. Because poetry says things in a way that normal prose doesn't. And I think sometimes we think, well, poetry's supposed to rhyme. Well, maybe. And there were some beautiful little rhymes in there, very catchy, almost rap-like.
Yeah.
But there was also a rhythm to it.
Do you know what I think that is? And this is me being really geeky now about poetry. There is this, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like an energetic rhythm. And I think when you write with all this feeling and all this, like you really want to send a message out there, I think that it really shows in your performance and when you share this poetry. And for me, you know, writing is not just about people listening, but a way for me to express what it is I'm feeling and can't always articulate in my mind, but I just want to get something out. So I'm glad that you felt that way, because that was the intention.
I mean, very occasionally I have written poetry.
Amazing.
But it's not occurred to me to perform it.
Yeah.
And what you've just done in performing it is to add another dimension to it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that reflects in sometimes the fact that there isn't rhyme on purpose. And for example, on my documents, there'll be certain breaks in the writing, or there'll be, you know, punctuation where it might not necessarily mean something to a reader, but it means something to me in terms of performance. And that's what I love about spoken word, because it allows me to deliver it how I want it to be delivered.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I might ask you if you've got something else to read us a little later.
Yeah, no problem at all.
But let's come on. Because again, I read about you that you use your poetry to inspire and deliver messages around morality and reflectivity and mental health.
Yeah.
And that leads us into the event that's coming up tomorrow evening.
Yes.
What can you tell us about that?
Firstly, I'm super excited because it's the first time I'm ever hosting an event. So I'm really, really looking forward to this opportunity. The event is going to be, it's been organised underneath the Lantern Initiative, which is an organisation who has events and workshops around mental health to try and educate people around mental health, and it's kind of acts like a hub to signpost people, and their workshops are amazing. They really hold safe spaces for people to come and explore these things, especially in the Muslim community and Asian community. So what we're going to have is 4 amazing poets who are going to come and share with us some of their experiences and their perspectives as young British Muslims with mental health through spoken word and storytelling.
Gosh.
Yeah.
And there's a number of guests coming tomorrow.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Yeah. So you're going to be compere and introducing them? And
Yeah, so I will be doing a bit of performing, but my job tomorrow will be looking after everybody in the evening and introducing our lovely performers as well.
What sort of audience are you looking for?
I would have liked to have thought everyone can feel that they can come to this, especially because in Peterborough we don't really have, I feel, very much events centred around young people, particularly young Muslims. I'm hoping this will encourage young Muslims to come forward with their, their passions and their abilities and stuff. I'm hoping as well that it will be, Muslims will feel like it's a fresher breath air, because we don't have these kinds of things as much. We don't have people talking about mental health as much in the Muslim community. So I'm hopeful that we'll get a lot of people of that community coming. I'm hoping that it will help them in terms of their knowledge and their experience, particularly seeing people who have first-hand been through these things. Yeah.
I mean, all human beings are subject to challenges with our health, including our mental health. Yeah. But is there something of a matter of the community of Muslims feel it's not to be talked about?
I do. I think there are many pockets of society still who feel that way. And I think that it's what we need to do is show them that it's not this scary taboo thing. It's quite real. And so, as you rightly said, everyone experiences these things. So I think it's again about creating appropriate and safe spaces for people to gain that understanding. And I'm hoping that because we are delivering this message through spoken word and poetry, which is an art, as anyone can connect with it, that it will be a gentle way of, showing these people what it's like to go through, mental health illness.
So certainly anyone from the Muslim community who has experienced or touched in some way mental health or knows people with mental health issues, but more generally, I think it's good for the wider community to understand
Definitely.
how this and how poetry can help.
Definitely. And I think that what's good about this event is, that there will be with every community specific and community appropriate situations which are unique to that group of people. And I think it's important that these are also addressed and understood, because there might be some things which need to be dealt with within that realm. And as you rightly said, spoken word is it's an art, and it's a form of entertainment. It's a good way of gently allowing people to gain that understanding. Yeah.
Gosh, I can't quite imagine how it's going to go. Now, it's at the John Clare Theatre.
It is, yeah.
From what time?
It starts at 6:30.
6:30?
Yeah, until 8 p.m. Yeah.
And there's a small charge?
It's £5, yeah. You're more than welcome to come at the door. You can buy tickets either through Facebook. There's a link for Eventbrite. Or you're welcome to come on the day and book yourself a ticket at the door. Yeah.
And what can you expect? As you say, it's a performance.
Yes.
So it's entertainment.
Yes.
But it's thought-provoking.
Definitely. One thing which I think is really key, which I'd want everyone to know, is that, there's no kind of obligation to stay through the whole thing. If there's anything triggering or anything that you feel is a bit difficult to sit through, you're absolutely welcome to leave the room. We want people to, yes, be educated, but we want people to be comfortable and enjoying their time there. So we are going to have, each of the poets talking about mental health from a unique dimension, because we've obviously all had unique experiences. We've got people touching on different parts of mental health illnesses. So we've got, depression, anxiety, suicide. And then at the end, I'm also going to be leading a mindfulness session as well, so the audience all can participate in that. Yeah.
Gosh, wow, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
What about another poem for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'll share with you one of the... In fact, this is the first poem I've ever performed. And I think this may sum up maybe my ethos, because it's about being the change. Gandhi's famous saying, be the change you want to see. So this poem is called Be the Change. It's such a big world, and I'm not in control. So much hate, fear, and sadness, I can't fix it all. You may hear sorrow in my voice. Yes, it is there, but not the kind that's caused by the feeling of despair, just more of an acceptance that there is purpose in everything. And sometimes that means struggle, realignment, and what I hate the most, not knowing. However, it's not a reason to give up, but instead to trust. Because when things throw you off, faith and hope is a must. So I turn to him and he gives me peace. All of my anxiety and confusion begins to cease. There's no one else I have to aim to please. So I turn to him, praying on my knees, God, please, see me through this life with more light and love than sacrifice. Give me guidance and ease through my tests and strifes. Help me be a positive influence in this life. Because there's enough pain, enough misery, enough shame, so much blame. I don't want to be part of their game full of ignorance and blindness to what really matters. I've become deaf from all their pointless chatter. I want to use my voice this time to make noise, to wake up every girl and boy, to show them that society is what we make of it. We are society. It should no longer be this invisible force driven by consumerism, sexuality and selfishness. Every one of us holds the power to drive love and happiness. So maybe, just maybe, we can start a revolution in our hearts. Illuminate so we can eliminate the darker parts. Let's be the change.
You've brought it to a climax and left me hanging there.
Good, because now I feel like everyone's got this energy, and hopefully one thing that really I feel strongly about is how important it is that everybody feels empowered, that change comes from them. And there's not one person that doesn't apply to. Whether you're a teacher, a mother, a father, a daughter, you have so much influence with the people around you. And your energy, everything you are, all your interactions, that feeds into the people around you. And I think if everyone realised how important they are, because the way I see it is, there's a reason why we were put in the world today, not 10 years ago, not 100 years ago, not in 2,000 years' time, because God needed you in this world. You are, you have a purpose. The universe put you here for a reason. And I want everyone to feel like they are important, so that they realise whatever it is that they love doing, whatever position that they're in, they have so much power to feed love and positivity into every day. So
again, I've read that you've had a lot of involvement with community projects and community cohesion.
Yes.
But what I sense you saying here is that community improvement, the success of community life, comes from individuals, comes from within them, not from the way a community is organised or governed.
I think it goes hand in hand. And the reason why is because if we work on the way we are with the people around us, that will naturally enhance our relationships with the community. Because if we treat everybody around us with the same love and respect that we expect, then it builds those relationships a lot stronger. And I think going back to the sense of community, that, and again, it's that, if you think about the community you have in your house, so the dynamic between parent and child, if those are strong and those are full of respect and love, and then the same with your neighbours, the same in your village, town, city, etc., etc. Do you see what I mean? If we start on the micro, then we kind of feed that naturally into the macro. That's my theory.
And have you seen this working in the various tasks you've been?
Yeah, well, I'll share with you something that I was involved in. It's called Story the City Peterborough. It was a Google-funded project where we were given the funding and the space to do something to bring, people of different demographics who might not usually come across each other together. And what it involved was storytelling and activities which encouraged empathy and understanding. And it's amazing how much storytelling can do. And I think this is why, for me, the event tomorrow is so important, because just by sharing perspective and using language to communicate that, we can so I think that we underestimate what that can do, because what we're doing is we're touching people's hearts, we're giving them perspective, and I'm hoping that empathy will encourage people to perhaps take different action. So, I think that the individuals thinking and reflecting on their personal interactions and people being conscious and mindful of, community and how important that is, I think work quite closely together and feed into each other as well. Yeah.
Gosh. Sometimes we think about justice and injustice as the people who are the downtrodden, the people at the bottom, the people who have no power and influence. But does your work speak also to those in authority, those with power?
I hope so. I think that people in authority have a very special responsibility, and I'm not sure that they don't realise how special their position is. Actually, I think they're quite privileged that they have the resources and the space to take care of those who might not be as taken care of. And again, I think it's about realising that, we're all one. In humanity, and that no matter what position you're in, no matter what experiences you've been through, we all have a responsibility to each other. And I read something the other day on Twitter about, we live in such an individualistic society that we become so harsh, I think, and I see that. I see people becoming so absorbed in their interests that they dismiss the need for compassion and the need to compromise for each other. And actually, sometimes we do owe things to each other in our relationships, whether it's your parents or your sisters or friends. Isn't that what, being human is about?
Gosh.
Yeah.
And I think your faith, also informs you and encourages you in your work.
Yeah, I agree. My faith has definitely anchored me in many ways. I think it definitely acts as a spiritual hub for me. It holds me accountable and conscious for, making these decisions and, having these positive relationships and taking responsibility over those. So I definitely think it's been a source of inspiration for me.
Well, that's wonderful. And I'd love another opportunity, perhaps, when we can talk a little bit more about both of our faiths.
Definitely, I'd love that.
Islam and Christianity.
Yeah, 100%.
That would be good. And I really look forward to hearing how tomorrow night goes.
Yeah.
Just a final... I'm very tempted. A final plug. John Clare Theatre.
Yes.
6:30 p.m. tomorrow, Friday.
Yes, I would love to see as many people as I can. And I'd love to meet people firsthand. It's not just about the performance, but actually I see these spaces as an opportunity to, hear from people as well, the audience, to hear their experiences and to connect with people. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I had planned to go and see the film 1917.
I've heard of that film.
But that is on at other times. Your event is only on tomorrow.
Yes, it's very exclusive, Adrian. You should come to our event.
I must persuade my wife to join me as well.
Yes, please do.
Yes.
It would be lovely to see you guys there.
I think that's wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's do a final plug, 30 seconds, Malika.
Yes.
What would make people come tomorrow?
I think there's a few answers to this. I think that firstly, mental health affects so many of us. I am very certain that if you haven't experienced something yourself, a mental health illness, then somebody around you will have. And I think that it's important that we take harness of this fact, and that we take responsibility and learn from each other, so that we can realise that actually it's not this scary taboo subject, that it's very real, and that we should all come together and take care of each other.
Wonderful. Malika Speaks, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And reading your poetry as well.
My pleasure.
Takes us to a different dimension. It really does. So thank you to Malika Speaks. We look forward to Soul Speak in the John Clare Theatre, above the library in Broadway tomorrow, Friday, from 6:30 p.m. And of course, many thanks to my earlier guests, Vanessa Cave and Wallace Weldon from City College. Remember, you are the community that matters wherever you are. And do look forward to Community Matters show in the weeks ahead, We're going to hear from Food Bank and the Olive Branch community and the Link Road project and many more. From me, Adrian Oldstock, good night.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.